thank you for joining us, JJ. We're just going to have a conversation, have some fun.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, man. John, could you turn up JJ's volume a little bit? Yeah, sure. Thanks. Y'all, so JJ has written a book called Teaching Kids to Buy Stocks. And I think you have a subtitle, Stories for Grown-Ups?
Yeah, Stories and Lessons for Grown-Ups.
Stories and Lessons for Grown-Ups.
Yeah.
Yo, so I mean, and this guy's story is amazing. This dude used to be in finance like me. All right. And then decided to ultimately leave that and build his basically following for his book and his brand, the JJ Wenrich brand, right? Wouldn't you agree with this?
Yeah. I mean, I left the professional world to publish the book, and there's some story to that as to why I had to do that. And then I've been building up the audience for the book and doing that since I left the corporate world at the beginning of the year. But in the end, I'll probably end up at I'm doing a lot of conversations with some different people about what might be next professionally. But whatever I do, it'll be something that this book and this platform works with, that it's complementary to.
Lancey and I, JJ, were just talking about how there's a certain power, and you know what? Kareem is also going to resonate with this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, he is.
There's a certain power in cutting off the umbilical cord or pulling away from the teat.
Yeah.
As I'll creepily say. And like kind of like swimming in the ocean, not without a raft necessarily, you know? Lancey just did it himself. You did it earlier in 2019. Kareem did it about 48 hours ago.
It reminds me of a Seinfeld. There's the storm out. Feels so good, the storm out, but then there's the creep back in, the tiptoe back in.
Right? I mean, so Lancey called me up 2 months ago, and he's like, man, I kind of feel stuck. Something doesn't feel right. He's been working at a restaurant, and he was talking to me about how one of his bosses, right? You're the general manager of the restaurant?
Right.
He had walked off and like went to another job. He's like, I've never seen a guy do that job better than anyone, and he walked away.
Right.
And I was like, well, shit, Lancey, if you respect that guy so much, like, go have a meeting with him. And then I didn't talk to Lancey for like a month. And then I talked to him recently, and he's like, oh, yeah, hey, I had that meeting, and I quit my job, and I now work with this other guy. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. He's like, the only problem is they don't have any shifts for me, so I'm not really working. I'm like, oh, shit, what kind of advice did I give you, man? But Lancey pointed out, like, no, Amr, actually, that was exactly what I needed, right?
Right. Yeah, you got to get outside of that so that you get out of your comfort zone, and once you break that seal, then you're actually standing on your own.
It's like coming out of your mom the first time you're born, breaking that seal.
I thought you said coming out to your mom.
I did. It's like coming out to your mom.
They both break a seal.
Are you talking into the mic, bro?
No, I think
it's way too low. Yeah, there you go. They're both breaking a seal. You're breaking all sorts of seals when you're coming out to your mom, coming out of your mom. All sorts of things are getting broken. But yeah, no, I think you're right, man. You can like once you break that seal, you can like see. You can see the world.
Yeah,
it's like you're seeing the world for the first time.
Yeah, and I don't know for the listeners out there if my advice is tip top right now, because I'm making about $1,000 a year at this moment. Once I break that 2K barrier,
listen to everything this guy's got to say.
Yeah, then I might be the Oracle,
the Oracle of Omaha. Did you the Oracle of Chicago? That's what you'll be.
Yeah,
or the Oracle of Mississippi.
Yeah.
None of those really.
The Oracle of the Midwest.
JJ, did you experience that when you left? So what company were you working at before you left?
I worked at a company called Ivy Investments. It's based out of Kansas City. It's a mutual fund company. Publicly traded under the ticker WDR for Waddell & Reed, because that's the broker-dealer as well. They have their own financial advisors. But I'd been there about 10 years, and when I went to explain the book that I had written, that I was finishing up writing, and I wanted to begin to market it and publish it, saying, hey, I think this would go along well with what we do as a firm, and I just want to make sure I do this legally, compliantly, and all those things. They said, oh, no, we can't have you do that. That's just going to be way too complicated from a compliance standpoint. And so we're going to tell you can't do that if you want to stay employed here. And
that is the epitome of a company getting really, really big, and they really can't see shit anymore. Like when you get really big and fat and bloated, you just can't. You become blind in a way. Like it's like David versus Goliath. Goliath was so damn big that really he couldn't kind of see very well.
Right.
And David was actually able to take him out.
Right.
So JJ, you about to take out Waddell and Reed single-handedly.
Well, they may take themselves out the way the stock price is going. And
is that right?
It wasn't. I wasn't having a blast and having a lot of fun and enjoying myself professionally, or I probably wouldn't have taken the time to write the book and do everything else. I probably wouldn't have been going to them and asked them. And I was not a good culture, and I wasn't happy in it. And so instead of just being a miserable employee, I redirected my energy towards writing the book and writing down some of the things that I was talking about anyway professionally. And then when it came time that they didn't want to support that, it just reaffirmed where I was at anyway, that this isn't where I wanted to be. And I decided, if I'm going to publish this book, I don't want to have to ask another company for permission. I don't have to do any of that. Let me run with this. Let me do it. And then that will either open the next door or lead me to the next door, or maybe that is the door. We'll see. But it's, I wouldn't go back and do it any other way. It's gotten me to where I need to be mentally to make that next push. I'm in my early 40s, and I feel like, all right, there's something else I'm going to build here, but it's going to be along with this book and this platform. And when they didn't want to support that, then I felt like, well, this isn't where I'm home anyway.
Okay, so to be clear, so the moment you actually walked out of HR's office or whoever's office, when you said, I'm leaving this firm, right? Whose office was it? Your manager, or was it HR, or who?
So the way it worked is I requested to my manager, who I'd known for a long time, I'd worked for a long time, just explained what I was doing. And he came back after talking to legal for, over a month and a half, explained that, hey, they weren't going to support it. It was just going to be too much for them to try to allow me to do. It was actually over a coffee at a Starbucks. And my boss, he says, what are you going to do? And I said, I don't know. I'll let you know when it's your time to know.
Right.
It doesn't make me happy, but if you'd written a book and your company said, hey, you can't do it, what would you do? You'd probably figure out what your options are.
Right.
So I left it at that. And then a couple months went by, and it's building up, and I'm wanting to start to market things. And
you hadn't published
there came a point where I just decided I can't do it anymore. And I called my boss and I said, hey, I'm done.
You called him on the phone?
Yeah.
All right. Yep. And then when you made that call, when it was finally official, like you're walking out of the office for the last time. Do you remember that moment?
Oh yeah.
All right. So did you feel like you started to see the world differently? Like did kind of what Lancey's saying, like you broke a seal and you're kind of able to see things differently?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, the moment was actually because I traveled and I was on the road. That's why everything was over the phone. I didn't have an office. The office was in my house.
Oh.
I went to lunch with a couple of former colleagues that had left the company as well, and said, "Hey, this is it. I'm leaving. I'm going to make the call after this." And so we had lunch, and then I actually stepped out and made the call and went back in, and I definitely saw things more clearly at that moment, but it's not like, hey, that was the optimum moment of clarity. It feel like every day's gotten a little bit clearer.
Oh, is that right?
It just takes time to separate from that to, I feel like, get my own voice back.
Wow, that's a big word. Get my own voice back. Almost like they owned your voice before?
Oh, no, that was a big part of what was bothering me is I've got my own opinions and my own voice, and I was really tired of being a spokesperson for another company who I may or may not agree with. And, a company that over the last 10 years, I disagreed with a heck of a lot more than I had agreed with. And, it was time,
Hey, JJ, can you do me a favor? Can you flip your phone sideways? Let's see if it makes a difference. We're getting you only halfway. Oh, yeah, that's great.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we're getting more trees and California mountains in the background. That's what I really wanted there. Gotcha. So yeah, is that true for you too, Lancey and Kareem? Like, does it get more clear as every day passes?
I'm not sure. I second guess myself all the time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I do too.
how long, JJ? Did you have a second guessing period where did you, since you've quit, where you were like, am I doing the right thing? Or were there any cold days there?
I have multiple second guessing periods per day.
Yeah.
Same here. I left JP Morgan June 2012. It's been 7.5 years almost. And I second guess myself more even now. Now that I have a wife and 2 kids, I second guess myself double or triple than I used to.
Wow.
Before I was just like, whatever. Now I'm just like, what the F did I do?
Yeah.
These kids like to eat a lot.
Stop eating.
Stop eating. Skip a meal. You're 1, for God's sakes. How much do you need? Stop breastfeeding, for God's sake. That milk ain't cheap. No, but yeah, I'm still saying, and so I think that's probably part of it.
Right. Especially until, like, I find, because JJ, I'm a comedian, so my work is kind of here and there anyways. It's kind of fly by night stuff. But I guess until I start really getting some sort of stability anyways. But I mean, a serving job is not necessarily stable either.
I mean, financially it's stable, but longer term, what you're looking for is probably not it's not that stable.
Because I'm making some money,
right?
Being a server.
I mean, servers make okay money actually compared to many other jobs,
right?
But yeah, I agree with you. The stability you're looking for, where you can book a show or a writing gig or something like that. Yeah, that's going to come with time. That takes a lot of effort. What about you, Kareem? Are you seeing things more clearly?
I think for me, it's like completely different, like similar in a sense, but also very different. Because I came out of college, I was offered a job, like to any kid that's in college who's like extremely broke. When someone gives you a number, you're like, oh my God, that's so much money. What am I going to do? Yeah. And then you get your paycheck and you're like, okay, Illinois is like going to take all of my money before I get any of it, and then gas and then other things. So like from that perspective, from the beginning, I was like, I like what I'm doing. I'm learning a lot, but like, I wish I was getting paid a little more. So I was never completely in it per se. Like in the beginning I really liked going to work, even though I wasn't getting paid a lot. I was like learning a lot, but then it hit a point where I was just like, I'm kind of bored. Like, I don't like doing this. Like there was no like structure, like I wasn't in a structured job.
Yeah, you felt loosey-goosey.
Yeah, so, and then one of my friends offered me a job, and I thought about that for a while, and that was like a few months ago, and I think that's when it broke the connection of like, oh, I'm going to stay here. At that point, I'm like, I have other options to me that I didn't realize before, because someone sat in front of me and gave me a big number per se, and then now I'm where I am. So from that perspective, like, it started a few months ago, and then little by little, it kind of like culminated to a point where my dad is like, he looks at me, he's like, dude, I never see you stressed. Like finals week, I'm never stressed. He's like, you look more stressed out now than I've seen you in your entire life.
Really? Yeah,
and
I don't get you.
Not
You're not a stressed dude.
I'm like middle of finals week, like sitting there like, bro, you want to get coffee? Like I'm just like chilling. And
you're you seem like you're permanently high.
I mean, sure, but like I was like actually like it was bad. Like, and then my dad's like, dude, no, you have to do something about this. Like it's not okay. So, and then I think at that point I'm like, yeah, like I might have been learning, I might have been making a little bit of money, but this is like bad for my health. The fact that I don't know what I want to do.
I feel you.
And that I'm like kind of working in a place where like I don't feel like I belong entirely.
Right.
So then like after like when I left, it was more of a, oh my God, I'm finally free. Like
freedom.
I finally have time now, and like my own, like as you were saying, my own like opinion. Like I share my own opinions. I could say whatever I want. As to before, it was like, okay, wake up, go to work, go home, go to sleep, wake up, go to work.
So it makes me think about Elon Musk, who's in the news this week, by the way. Elon Musk, they just had a couple, I think yesterday, they unveiled the Tesla truck. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd bring this up.
Oh man, how can I not bring it up?
Cyberpunk.
Yeah, they call it Cybertruck.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let's talk a little business news. And hold on, before we go to we're gonna go to Cybertruck. Elon, right? He made his big payday with PayPal.
Yeah.
And now he's doing Tesla. But like, one thing that would really help me, JJ, Kareem, Lancey, John Dolder, is accountability. Like, so I own this restaurant now, my late father's restaurant, may God rest his soul. And one of the most important things for people to do the job right and for us to serve customers well is to make and hold people accountable. There's a staff of 15 to 20 people. My role is to hold people accountable. And if I don't, man, human beings will just keep doing crazy shit if I tolerate it. As much as I tolerate, they will keep doing. I got like servers walking into the kitchen, like warming up food, and I'm like, "What are you doing? You can't go in the kitchen. That's the cook's job and stuff." And so all sorts of other stuff. And the cooks are misbehaving. Like someone will just wear ear pods and listen to some music while they're cooking. I'm like, "What do you, dude?" So I've had to lay down the law. But I'm wondering, like, I would benefit from that in my comedy career with the podcast. I mean, if somebody was to hold me accountable, but it's kind of hard to do that. The closest thing I got is my wife. She sometimes slaps me upside the head. Is like, "What are you doing?"
Right.
And even if it's not regarding business, she'll still sometimes slap me upside the head because I'm sure I'm screwed up somewhere.
Just for fun.
Just for fun, right? But like Elon, who is he kind of held accountable to? Is it shareholders? I guess. I get, but I mean, did he always have shareholders? Not necessarily, right? Do you guys have an opinion on that?
I don't know. Is the SEC the only one that holds him accountable?
The SEC, right? Stop tweeting, Elon.
Right.
I don't watch college football.
Yeah. So what do you think?
I guess like once you get like a big break or something, or like once you have that much money, the only thing you're accountable for is like, how do I not lose all of this money?
He seems to spend a lot of his money. I've listened to some interviews with him. His attitude is the following: I'll take half my wealth, whatever it is, and invest all that half into my business.
Right.
For example, into Tesla. He took half his PayPal and put it in Tesla. And then when Tesla needed more money, he put the other half into Tesla of his own money. At which point, when he had no money, and he said he had to go to like his brother and family to just like pay his house expenses.
Whoa.
I kind of get that. At least in like for my generation, at least, whenever I go to like spend money on something I need, it's like, dude, I can put this somewhere else where it will pay me back eventually. So it's like, as long as I have the absolute like bare necessities to live, and considering I live with my parents, that's like almost nothing. It's like everything I make, it's like, yeah, if somehow, somewhere down the line, I'll make money off of this, yeah, go ahead, take it.
That's what we need, JJ, is like, and Lancey, we need like a beneficiary or something, right? Like a benefactor. Wouldn't that be so nice? And then we could really roll the dice.
There you go. Someone to bankroll everything you want to do.
Yeah. I mean, that's what Elon did, right? He put all his money into Tesla, right? Probably billions or maybe hundreds of millions, and then he got people to just pay for his life.
Well, I mean, like the old school artists, that's what they had somebody paying for their stuff, right?
I think that's right.
Like Da Vinci had somebody like a sponsor or something, like Disney or somebody.
Yeah. What'd you say, John?
A patron.
A patron, yeah.
Yes, patron of the arts. I've heard that phrase before.
Oh, there you go, patron of the arts. Okay. So I don't know who Elon's patron is, but so anyway, so this he releases a Cybertruck, which is like vaulting Tesla into like the mainstream, like he's becoming more of a mainstream car company,
right?
Like a Chevy and a Ford. They've now got the SUV, the Cybertruck is coming. They got the Model T, I guess it's called, right? And then they got the Model 3, the Mini. And so they're at this unveiling. They're doing this kind of basically performance or show in Southern California, probably not too far from you, JJ.
Yep, up in LA.
Up in LA, right? And I forget the name of the town, Haverford or something like that. Hawthorne, California. How far is that from you?
It's about 70 miles.
Okay, so they're out there. They bust out the truck. The truck on its outside, first of all, it looks like it's from the future, and it's made of not regular paint and enamel or whatever. It's made of stainless steel.
Like a DeLorean?
Yeah, kind of looks like a DeLorean, like a big DeLorean.
It kind of looks like a DeLorean.
Really?
Does.
That's cool.
I bet that's what it was inspired by.
A lot of trucks nowadays are made out of stainless steel.
Well, no, but this is different, dude.
I mean, they're like painted, but like the body.
I
is
got you.
stainless steel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this,
I think.
So Elon is like doing his thing, right? And he brings out Franz von Hausen or something, his main design, like the chief designer of Tesla cars.
Yeah.
And he's like, Franz, show us how durable and the armor on this thing is, And he brings out a sledgehammer, right? And he just starts pounding away at the door. And he rubs it and like nothing. It was just like, wow. And so like, yeah, this is the truck you want to have on a job site or construction site.
Wow.
Right? And it's all electric.
That's great.
And then Elon probably says, and show them the cyber armor windows or something to show that they're shatterproof. And he picks up a metal ball and with all his might just whips it at the window. And it completely shatters.
Really?
It does.
Yeah.
So that was a bust?
It was a bust.
It was a bust.
Elon literally just...
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Elon's quoted words, quote, "Oh my fucking God."
Turns out he threw it the wrong window.
Yeah. Because at least it didn't go through it.
Is that what he said?
Yeah.
So check this out. So did you see their stock price after that? It went down 5.5%.
Yeah, it was down like what, $30 today.
It's crazy. I wouldn't have thought. I mean, come on. That seems like just because of a. Do you think it's because of the window?
It was up a lot the last 2 weeks anyway.
Oh, okay.
No.
So it's kind of like a relief, not a relief rally, but I guess it's giving some back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
the old, buy the rumor, sell the news.
Yep, buy the rumor, sell the news. Exactly.
How long did they announce before that they were going to do this event today?
I don't know. Do you know? Well, so maybe 2 weeks because it's been going up for 2 weeks, right?
What's that? What's the question?
Kareem was asking, do you know how long? When did they announce that they're going to have this unveiling?
I don't know. They've been talking about it for a long time, but I don't know how long they've had that announcement.
Yeah,
because I know Ford just announced their like Mustang pickup or Mustang SUV electric thingy, and that was like a huge
interesting.
Yeah, so they're trying to make Mustang a sub brand of Ford now.
I gotcha.
Like with electric,
like Jordans and Nike.
Exactly.
Right, Jordans and Nike. Right. So I mean, I thought it was down 5.5% because of the window, but it sounds like more it's by the rumor, sell the fact.
Yeah, I don't think that helped it. I think that a lot of people saw the truck and said, "Oh my goodness, that's a truck," and a little bit of that reaction to it.
Has anyone here ever driven a pickup truck?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I mean, sorry. Damn, everyone's like, yeah, we're fucking men here.
America.
America.
Hell yeah, brother.
I need to build me a condo building. Okay, let me restate my fucking question. Has anyone here like as their main vehicle had a pickup truck?
No.
I did for 5 years. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and you have two Dolder?
Yeah, in high school.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, I used to drive a pickup truck to school every day.
You're totally from Ohio, dude.
Yeah, I reek of it.
JJ, where are you originally from? Because you don't sound like you're from Southern California.
I'm originally from Kansas.
Oh, there you go, Midwest guy. All right, cool. So would you buy that pickup truck, JJ?
The Tesla?
39 grand? Yeah.
No, I would feel like a sideshow driving that.
You said you'd feel like a sideshow?
Yeah, it's just a little bit of a little too.
It's screaming. Look at me.
A little too much.
Yeah. John, Dolder, did you see the truck by any chance?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
It looks like. Would you drive a truck from the future?
From the future?
If someone gave it to you, probably.
Does it have like future sideboards that are like hover
Running
sideboards?
boards?
Yeah, running boards.
It's a hover pickup.
Hover running boards.
Dude, that'd be amazing for a job site, a hover pickup truck. Why don't you do that shit, Elon?
I think that's probably what he was looking at, like eventually. Yeah.
Maybe. Right. All right. So that's Elon. I don't know. Honestly, I'm still a big Elon fan.
I don't think it fits in the segment that he went for.
Really?
Because, like, okay,
Do you mean it's too futuristic, or do you mean just the pickup truck in general?
like it's too futuristic, like the design. Like if you look up,
So you're cool with him doing a pickup truck, but it's got to look different.
like okay, look at the big pickup trucks. There's like the F-150, the Silverado, and the what's the other one? The Ram.
Dude, how the hell do you know your pickup truck so well?
I know my cars.
Yeah,
really
just
well.
rattle them off.
Like okay, if you look at like the top of the line stuff, they're all like very muscular,
Oh,
very
totally,
big. Like
totally.
you hear them pulling out from like a mile away.
Yeah.
But like you're gonna see this thing, and it's gonna like kind of look like a Lamborghini, but like in a truck form, and it also makes no noise. And
Yeah, you got guys
Like-
with steel toe boots, and they haven't shaved in a few weeks, and they eat out of a roadside food truck.
yeah,
Right.
You know what I'm talking about? Those things with the metal things you pull up, and they're the construction site food trucks that look like they're gonna give you diarrhea. That food, like those guys are probably not gonna drive this kind of truck.
Like imagine all of your friends pull up in like a $70,000 like truck, and you come in like a Tesla.
Yeah, they're gonna think you. Yeah,
Like-
they're gonna they're gonna laugh at you.
Who's this guy? Like
Some people are gonna buy him, but I don't think it's a construction
I
site guy.
think it's gonna be like people in the cities
yeah, maybe.
that like are used to driving a truck.
It's like the Hummer. Like the people are gonna buy it who the people who need the Hummer the least. They're gonna see.
Right. Well, have y'all ridden in a Tesla?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really cool, right?
Beautiful. Just beautiful. Have you ridden in a Tesla, JJ?
I have. I haven't for far, just around town a little bit, but it's an incredibly well-made car. It's a very cool car.
Yeah, full agreement. By the way, you holding up that phone?
What's that?
Are you holding up that phone?
I am.
Oh shit! I'm sorry, JJ. If you need to put it
Oh,
on
good.
something, dude.
I'm switching arms. My workout.
So it's a workout.
He's got a shoulder workout.
Tesla
It ripped.
driving it, I was missing something.
Oh really?
Yeah. Okay, I'm super into cars.
Yeah,
like
you
like
are,
I've
yeah.
been to track days and
Yo, this guy's in his 20s. He's rocking a Porsche. You know he likes his cars.
Is that true?
yeah.
Oh yeah, I
It's like a
did see your car
2012,
once. Yeah.
But like after driving that car, so my boss at the time, his wife was out of the country and he had that car. So I was
What
pretty
car?
much driving Tesla Model 3,
Oh nice.
a dual motor.
You
yeah.
were driving his wife's car?
Yeah.
Did he know that?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, all right.
he would like tell me to do things and I would take his
I
car.
wasn't sure if you're driving his
Yeah.
wife's car without telling the husband. I
So
wasn't sure how deep into the company you were.
So like I was like driving it around like pretty consistently for like a week. And my brother goes like, dude, would you buy one? And I'm like,
Really?
it's missing excitement.
Some
Oh,
soul.
really?
Exactly. It literally
Wow.
gets you from point A to point B pretty quickly. But like after the first 3-4 times you floor it and you just like feel the car hit you, after that's like, okay.
No
Yeah.
shit. Maybe you just get off on like, gasoline and fumes and mufflers and putting a hole in the ozone layer. Like maybe like that's what you need.
Yeah. It feels right when you do it.
Fossil fuel. No, like even,
Take this
like,
fucking ozone layer.
like after a point, like when you're like speeding in it, you're like, this is like either gonna kill me or put me to sleep.
Dude. That's a pretty
Like you
crazy
have to keep
spectrum.
constantly letting off and letting it hit you to feel like you're moving.
Wow.
Otherwise, it's just kind of like driving a cell phone.
Driving a cell phone.
It will put you to sleep, and it'll drive you to your destination.
I mean,
That's
it
good.
literally is
Yeah.
a
I've
glorified.
I've never seen a pickup do that before.
There you go.
I guess we'll see how this plays out.
Rough and tough construction guys. Let's see if your F-150 can drive you to the construction site while you sleep.
Eventually, probably.
Are you a buyer of? Do you own Tesla stock, JJ? Do you own any
I do
stock?
not.
I don't know how you handle your portfolio.
What's that?
I don't know how you handle your portfolio, but do you own stock in general?
I do own stock. I don't own Tesla. I have owned it, but
In the
I
past.
don't own it now.
As soon as that rock went through the window, you were like, sell.
Sell, Mortimer, sell.
Yeah, it's a good stock, has a good following. I mean, they don't, a lot of people like to talk about that they don't make money and that sort of thing, but sometimes the stock's going to do what it's going to do. When I've owned it, it's not been for a long time though, because it doesn't make a lot of money. It's not something I want to sit on for too long.
You actively buy and sell, JJ, in your portfolio?
I do. Yeah. I don't recommend most people do that, but I am a little more active maybe than I should be.
I was going to say, man, I used to do that for years. And then I'm like, I don't think I'm beating the market. I looked at my results. I'm like, I'm not that good at this. And so I started changing my strategy.
50%.
Yeah, I'm like down money and the S&P's up. I'm like, what? I think I'm the problem here. And so I started to read more and learn more. And this was while I'm at JP Morgan. Like, you'd think a guy like me would have understood like the long term and all that, but I didn't. And so I began to read more and learn more. I'm like, dude, I think I need to just pick some shit and sit back. And lo and behold, 10, 15 years go by, and yeah, my money started to like double. And I was like, yeah, this is probably the smarter way, is the long-term game.
But is it individual stocks that you're getting?
No more. I do not do that anymore, no.
So you're getting like mutual funds?
Not even mutual funds. Mostly exchange-traded funds with very, very low fees.
Okay.
I felt like if I'm going to play the long-term game, I want to get funds that have almost, I don't want to be paying 10 grand a year in fees.
Right.
Just for the purpose of managers.
Yeah.
And so I moved away from that and towards SPY and ETFs like that, exchange traded funds like that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I think so. So if you buy SPY on what's it, Charles Schwab?
Yep.
Then you're not paying a broker fee.
Right. Actually, to be specific, there's two things. Let's tease this out. One, correct. No longer broker fees as Charles Schwab or most places.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to worry about the $7.95 or whatever it is.
Right.
But more importantly, you don't pay an annual fee of like 1%.
Okay.
That is what, and JJ, you're going to know this shit really well because you are a mutual fund guy. Mm-hmm. But yep. Mutual funds can often charge you fees up to like 2 or even 3%.
Okay.
With the idea that, hey, we've got a professional manager watching this fund actively, buying and selling actively. So we're going to charge you extra money because we got to pay that guy's salary.
Right.
And we got to pay the buying and the selling.
Even though he's guessing like everybody else.
What the data shows.
He's just the pit boss.
Yeah, exactly. He's pretty much the pit boss. Exactly. You're paying the house.
Yeah.
You know? So I'm like, yo, I got to move away from that shit because that 2% each year on my money is just going to cost weight. It's going to be too much. It's going to eat away my returns over time. Right. Right. If it's 5 grand, 10 grand, 20 grand a year, dude, that's 200 grand after 10 years. Yeah. That's, 600 grand after 30 years. It's like $1 million after 40 years. It's like $1 million of your money is gone. Right. But JJ, do chime in here because you know about this more than I do.
No, absolutely. You're everything you said spot on. You know, you get into the mutual fund world, you end up you're going to pay higher fees, and sometimes you have layers of fees you may not understand. With the exchange traded funds, you're using the SPY, the Spider, as an example. Your expense on that is, I don't know exactly what it is, but I'm guessing it's probably 2 or 3 basis points.
Yeah, so 0.02, 0.03.
3%.
Yeah.
Which, so virtually nothing, especially now that trades are free on all the major brokerage houses, the Schwabs, and that sort of thing. But the thing is, then you have to leave it alone. When you're running it yourself, the temptation is to mess with it. And like you said, when you tucked it away and left it alone, that's when you made your money. And that's, you don't need to be smart to make money in the stock market if you just leave it alone. When you start to think you're smart and try to get too cute, that's when you find yourself losing money quicker than you're making it. And that doesn't keep me from trying to do it, but do as I say, not as I do.
Do as I say. From your heart, in your heart of hearts, why do you believe you're a bit more active? Is it because you left the finance world and you feel you want to try and outperform just a teeny bit so you can make a little extra cash, or are you just kind of having fun, like you're doing it for entertainment's sake?
For me, I'm doing it because I've studied professionally to do this actively. that's part of why I made the change, is to really be able to focus more of my time on studying the ins and outs of the movements of not just the indexes, but the different individual companies. And so that's part of why I do it. Part of it is, the entertainment value. Absolutely. I love it. I don't follow sports teams anymore. I follow stocks. So there's definitely that aspect of it. But I also, I study it professionally and feel like I have an edge that I can use to outperform.
I'm gonna put you on the spot here a little bit, JJ. Do you track your performance, and if so, have you indeed done better than you would have with the Spider or SPY or other indices?
I have. I have not. I mean, not every month, not every week, but I do outperform by quite a bit, and a lot of times it's because I'm a chicken and I sidestep some sell-offs. So but that's not what I recommend most people do. That's more of a trader's mentality.
Okay, wait. Let's slow down. Let's slow down a little bit. You have outperformed substantially, and is this over 2019 or is this over like the last several years?
Oh, this would be over my lifetime.
Oh shit. Okay, and so when you say one of the reasons you've outperformed is because you're a chicken and you sidestep sell-offs, what does that even mean?
So I tend to if I think that things are going to sell off, with my trading money, not with the money that I buy and hold and not that sort of thing, but with my trading money.
Okay, with your trading money. So this is what I recommend to people. You can have, money that you play with and trade with actively, but make it a smaller portion, like 5, 10, 15, 20% of your overall portfolio. What do you mind, if to the extent you're willing to share, what percent of your overall money is actively traded?
More than it is advisable.
Oh, really? More than 50%?
Yeah.
Oh,
but that's me.
Dude, you don't sound like a chicken at all. You sound like a fucking Mufasa.
But no, I mean, even as simple as things as rebalancing your portfolio. So if it's your 401k and you're putting money into a little bit into stocks, a little bit into bonds, if that balance, if let's say you're starting it out 50-50, if suddenly your stocks have really run and you're at 60-40, we're just rebalancing back to that original mix every couple of years or every 6 months, just whenever you see things are out of whack. I mean, that's how you really create wealth, is by just putting it in a little bit at a time. Every paycheck, stick a little bit more money in, and then leave it alone.
60-20-20. I always talk about 60-20-20. 60% goes to your living expenses, 20% goes to your savings, i.e. the market, and then 20% goes to splurge. And I even tell people to have 3 accounts. Have 3 different checking accounts. When your money comes in, let it get divided right away, so you don't even see that 20% that goes to savings. So, so you're saying that's the game. That's the name of the game, is have that money keep going every month.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go back to chicken when there's a sell-off sidestep, and that's how it makes you money. Teach us. How can we make some cheddar if someone wanted to be more active with their small portion to sidestep sell-offs and be a chicken? What does that mean?
Well, for me, I watch more technical type stuff. So here's where we get a little bit inside baseball, but watching price action, watching for prices to break down on volume, or the opposite, watching for maybe we've been selling off. Let's take this year as an example. We had a pretty volatile summer. The sell-offs started in May, and it got really choppy.
Right.
And I started to reduce risk in May.
Oh,
saying I'm having a hard time making money. I'm going to take smaller positions. If I've made money, maybe I'll trim off, and if I've lost money, maybe I'll kick it out. But started to be a little bit more cautious as things were selling.
And would you sell some individual stock positions and then go into cash and just kind of hide in the cave till the rain passed?
I did. Now, this is trading, and this is not how you make money investing. If you do this investing, you're never going to make any money.
Right.
But on the trading side, that's what I did. And then in July, things started to recover, and I started to put money to work, and it started to make money. But then rug gets pulled out from under again. So I said, I'm it's not time yet. And so I really did a lot of sitting and watching through most of the summer until towards the end of September, felt things were starting to rebound. I saw more stocks breaking out to new highs. And previously, when stocks broke out to new highs, they'd get whacked back down. Stocks started to break out and they started to hold their levels.
I saw that. Right.
And you just start to see more new highs than new lows. And you just see a little bit more positivity, yet everybody's still not believing it.
So the way a stand-up comedian, right? Let's put it in terms of what Lancey might understand, or John, or myself. The way a stand-up comedian has a relationship with the audience, JJ is saying he has a relationship with the market. The way John or Lancey or myself might feel an audience out, and they're like, "Fuck, these guys are laughing at everything."
Right.
I could say anything, and these clowns are gonna laugh. JJ is like, I could pick any stock and I'm going to make money at this point.
Right.
He's feeling momentum in the market the way we might feel an audience. And the way we study audiences, he's studying the markets. The way a person studies the Cubs statistics or baseball statistics or sports, follows sports in general, who's got the hot hand? Is it Tom Brady? Is it this guy? Is it that guy? That's what JJ seems to be actively watching and feeling out. Are those good metaphors? Or am I just...
That was a great metaphor.
Thank you. I was just really, I didn't give a shit about the stock market. I was just looking for a compliment from JJ.
I have a question though. Like the way that you developed that skill to be able to feel it, was it like a specific thing that like you learned because you do it professionally, or is it just like practice of like, whenever I do this, it kind of feels like that, so you just kind of built it like that?
It was from studying other people that have done it before me, and then you
people you know, or meaning reading books
as well. What's that?
People you know, or reading books?
No, reading books.
Okay.
Yeah, reading books, and then reading more books, and following certain people on Twitter, and then learning more about just where they write, and just studying a lot of different people in their in terms of trading. Do
you have some favorite books that you read that taught you how to begin to feel the market the way we might feel an audience?
Yeah, the first book that I'd say you want to read if you're thinking the trading side versus the investing side, it's called How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. He is the founder of Investors Business Daily, which is a newspaper that's out there. Investors.com is the website. Okay. But that was the book that I first read. I was probably 24 when I read it. And it really changed how I looked at stocks, because you hear the whole buy low, sell high, buy low, sell high. And that's true. And I even quote that in my book. But that can be misleading, because then you find a lot of people, a lot of stocks that are low, they stay low forever. Yeah. A lot of the stocks that are making new highs, they keep making new highs.
Right.
Any stock that's at a high, it's at its peak popularity. That's the whole, the audience is laughing at everything,
right.
At the 52-week high. But, audiences that are laughing at everything, they keep laughing at everything for a little while until they just get so tired that they have to go home.
Right.
And stocks are the same way. And I'd never really thought about it that way, that, you might want to buy strength and not weakness.
Right.
Now that's getting into individual stocks more, but How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill is I call it the gateway drug to trading.
Nice.
Yeah, I just dumped all my money into JCPenney. So I may have listened to that earlier.
It would have helped to know JJ's advice, right? I would sell that, and I'd buy Blockbuster.
Is Blockbuster booming right now?
Absolutely. You can't even buy them. They don't even exist anymore. Jeez. Or like Macy's. I feel like Macy's is going the way of JCPenney's.
Really?
It really feels that way. Wouldn't you agree, JJ?
Yeah, that's a tough one. That stock's down at the bottom end of the chart. So
is that right?
Buy low, sell high, then maybe you buy some Macy's and you catch a bid. But
God, if Macy's
seems like a tough way to make money.
If Macy's, if Penney, JCPenney, if these guys would have not missed the fucking boat on Amazon and what the world is changing to
Right.
about 5 years ago, 8 years ago, 10 years ago.
Blockbuster too.
Right. If Blockbuster
I mean, they
would
had
have
the
noticed
chance.
Netflix, yeah.
Yeah.
You're right. If they would have just noticed it and been able to see, when you get really big, you get blind. You can't see. You're like Goliath,
Right.
you know? And so if Macy's and Penney's and all these guys would have noticed, like, shit, this is for real, then they would have transformed. I feel like Target and Walmart, as fast as they can, are trying to transform as we speak before our eyes. And they're kind of succeeding, it seems to me. But most of the other retailers have not really, they've completely missed the boat.
Right.
And they're just like, they didn't understand the importance of, their online platform. Would you agree or disagree with this, JJ?
Oh, I agree 100%.
Good, just looking for a compliment.
Once again, now I feel like you're right. Walmart and Target, they're at least putting up a fight. I don't know what Macy's could have done to fight back, but regardless, they didn't fight back. What was their old CEO, Terry Lundgren? I remember him even 3 years ago saying, "Well, yeah, but most of our sales are still coming from the store, so it's not a problem. E-commerce isn't that big a deal." And you're thinking, well, that's not good that most of your stuff's still coming from the store. That means that proves that you've missed the boat.
Right.
But I don't know. Amazon, I don't know that there's anything they could have done to get off of the rails with that train coming.
I mean, I just like the advancements Amazon did with their warehouses, with getting the clothing or whatever it is you're selling, getting it out there in a day, creating Amazon Prime, thinking of yourself more as a technology company than as a department store company.
Right.
That agility, I think, would have benefited Macy's and JCPenney.
Yeah. Yep. They're just 10 years late realizing it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think something that, or a direction that they should have went is an experience.
Totally.
You come in, you try whatever you want, you experience it, and then you go and purchase it.
Totally. Like a high touch experience.
Exactly.
Like Apple Store, I feel like I touch like 8 different employees by the time I'm done with my thing, and they're all super cool with me, and I'm like, this is totally a tech company.
So my mom wanted to buy something the other day.
Was she buying you clothes?
No.
Did she still buy you underwear?
No.
Okay.
That's all me.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm an adult now.
She's not wiping your ass anymore, is she?
No.
Thank God.
Mom, I'm finished. So we walked into JCPenney and I've never been more disappointed. Like none of the employees knew what was going on, first of all.
Damn.
Second of all, everything was just overpriced and really like shitty.
Oh man.
Like, okay, I got really used to like shopping at Ross and like Marshalls and whatever because it's like on the road. I really need a sweater right now.
Same here. I do the same thing.
I walked through JCPenney and I'm like, dude, who is gonna buy a shirt for $35?
Wow.
Like a plain Claiborne, nothing on it, 30. Like, bro.
Bad, huh?
And then my mom couldn't
that
find
same
the
shirt
size.
is probably on Amazon
100%.
for like half the price. The other gangster move Amazon did was they had Macy's and JCPenney all on their platform selling through Amazon. So Amazon had all the data of what Macy's and JCPenney were selling.
They did the same thing with
and
Netflix.
So then they just, did they? Yeah, with Amazon Prime, right? Damn. Anyway, that's retail basically dying. It kind of feels like retail's dying in so many ways, right? Wouldn't you agree, JJ?
Well, yeah, like you said, if they'd have made it more experiential, I mean, think of an Ulta. I mean, not that I go to an Ulta, but I've heard about Ulta. That women go there. That's a company that's done well, even as Amazon's cleaned out everybody else.
It's not just women. It's drag queens too. Lancey goes on the weekends. Do me up, honey. I'm gonna have a rocking weekend with RuPaul. So you're saying Ulta is a more high touch experience as well?
That's the way I understand it. That's what my wife tells me, and it's been a stock that's hung in there through the last 10 years when Amazon's beating everyone else up.
Right.
This year not included because it's having a rough year this year.
Oh, is that right? Okay. Okay, cool. So just to go back to you, JJ. So you do actively trade. You have outperformed. You do not recommend that for the average person because there's been a big investment in your own education to get you to a place where you feel confident actively trading.
Yeah, that's accurate.
Now you're saying if you're the dude who is willing to read William O'Neill's book or other books to get you to feel the momentum of the market the way you'd feel the momentum of the audience, then sure, roll some dice and, you know, you could play with your money a little bit more, maybe even expand your above and beyond 10% or 20% of your portfolio to more actively trading it.
Luckily nowadays, because it's, you know, commissions are free and there's things like Robinhood where you don't have to buy, you know, you don't have to pay $1,800 to buy Amazon, even though it's, you know, that much per share. You can buy the fractional shares on the Robinhood type accounts. You can learn similar to, you know, you don't want to be the guy headed to Vegas on the airplane with the blackjack book.
Right.
You're probably not going to be a good outcome, but you probably have some fun if you treat it like that and you study it like that. And, you know, don't just read the blackjack book on the way to Vegas, but, you know, you read every blackjack book out there and you treat it like a professional. Then, yeah, you know, that's how you can get that edge. But when it comes to investing, you know, 999 out of 1,000 people should just do the easy way, which is just buy a little bit with each paycheck, and then leave it alone.
Yeah, you'll build some serious wealth over time.
Yep. It starts by having cash. I mean, if you haven't saved up a savings account, you don't have an emergency fund, you have no business playing around in the stock market, just like you have no business playing around with blackjack if you haven't saved up cash, and you shouldn't be gambling your rent money.
Yep, exactly. It only makes sense when it's excess cash from your paycheck every week.
As Jim Cramer always says, you use your mad money.
Oh, is that what he says? I never heard him say that.
That's for your mad money. That's not your money you need.
Ah, that's right.
But I'm really good at blackjack. That's the thing.
You don't need to read the books. You're just really good.
Yeah. I can feel it.
This one's going to be an ace.